Morning to all. Let's discuss the topic comparative study of the features of iOS and Android. iOS and Android are the mobile operating system. iOS, iPhone operating system. It is an Apple's proprietary mobile operating system initially developed to iPad, iPod Touch and Apple TV. It is known as iPhone OS, renamed as iOS in June 2010. iOS is not enabled for cross-licensing. It can only used on Apple devices. The user interface of iOS is based on the concept of usage of multi-touch gestures, and it is a Unix-based OS. OS consists of four abstraction layers, namely Core OS layer, Media layer, Core Service layer, and the Cocoa Touch layer. Apple's App Store contains close to 550,000 applications as of March 2012. iPhone OS. It is an operating system run on iPhone and iPod. It is based on Mac kernel and Darwin Core as Mac OS X. Mac OS contains the following components. First one, Mac kernel. Second one, BSD, Berkeley Software Distribution. Third one, I/O component. Fourth one, file system. Fifth one, network component. Mac OS acts as a preemptive multitasking environment. Preemptive means it is an act of taking the control of operating system from one task and giving it to another task. It supports a real-time behavior. In Mac OS X, each application access to its own 4 GB address space. Not only application can directly modify the memory of the kernel, it has a strong mechanism for memory protection. Let's see the architecture of iOS. Based on Mac kernel and Darwin Core's Mac OS, it is divided into BSD, file system, iOS system, and networking components. First one, Mac kernel. It is a kernel developed at Carnegie Mellon University by Richard Rashid and A.V. Tavanian to support operating system research, primary, distributed and parallel computing. It is often considered one of the earliest examples of microkernel. Second one, BSD. It is a Berkeley software distribution. It is a discontinued operating system based on the Unix research developed and distributed by the Computer System Research Group by the University of California. It passed through 4 major forms and various revisions of each over that time. Third one, I/O component. I/O unit typically consists of a mechanical component and an electrical component, where electric component is called the device controller. There is always a device controller and a device driver for each device to communicate with the operating system. Fourth one, file system. File system is a part of operating system which is responsible for file management. It provides a mechanism to store the data and access to the file contents, including data and programs. Some operating systems treat everything as a file. For example, Ubuntu. Fifth one, networking components. There are two components, hardware and software. Hardware components include the server, client, peer, transmission medium and connecting device. The software components are operating system and protocols. Next one, Google Android platform. It is a platform and an operating system for mobile device based on the Linux operating system. It allows developers design application in Java-like language using Google developed Java libraries. It supports a wide variety of connecting such as GSM, Wi-Fi, 3G. The operating system has not been implemented at February 2008. Several prototypes have been proposed. Android. Many manufacturers use different user interface for their mobile devices. Android provides the ability to use keyboard for touchscreen. Android provides a built-in full web browser capable of rendering full web pages and not just mobile versions. A prominent advantage of Android holds that Android software development kit works in an Eclipse environment. There are large number of developers to work projects on Android platform. It provides RDBMS SQLite for larger data storage and data sharing across various applications. It has several innovative pre-installed applications like Gmail, Maps, Voice Search, etc. Android software stack. It consists of applications, application framework, libraries, runtime, and Linux kernel. In applications consist of home, contacts, form, browser. Application framework consists managers for activity, window, package. Libraries consist SQLite, OpenGL, SSL. Runtime consists Dalvik VM, core libs. Linux kernel consists display, camera, flash, Wi-Fi, audio, IPC. It is the detailed figure of Android software stack. In application consists the home, contact, phone, browser, etc. Next one, the application framework consists of activity manager, package manager, window manager, telephony manager, content providers, resource manager, view system, location manager, notification manager, XMPP service. Library consists of Surface Manager, OpenGL, SGL, Media Framework, FreeType, SSL, SQLite, WebKit. Android runtime consists of core libraries and a Dalvik virtual machine. In Linux kernel consists of display driver, USB driver, camera driver, keypad driver, Bluetooth driver, Wi-Fi driver, flash memory driver, audio drivers, binder drivers, power management. Android OS consists of different layers of software. Each layer has several programs and each program has its own services to provide. Android architecture is a form of software stack which consists of 4 layers. Android consists of a Linux kernel and collection of C or C++ libraries. These services exposed from the application framework. Let's discuss each one by one. First one, Linux kernel. Android was created on the open source kernel of Linux. It is the heart of the Android architecture that exists at the root of the Android architecture. It is responsible for device drivers, power management, memory management, device management and resource access. Security. Linux kernel handles the security between the application and the system. Second one, memory management. Provide the freedom to develop our apps. Third one, process management. It manages the process well, allocate resources to process whenever they need. Fourth one, network stack. It handles the network communication. Second one, libraries. Running on the top of the kernel, it was developed with various features. It consists of various C or C++ libraries with numerous of open source tools. Some of the open source tools are Android Runtime, OpenGL, WebKit Media Framework, Secure Sockets Layer or SSL. First one, the Android Runtime. It consists of core libraries of Java and Android Runtime. Second one, OpenGL, cross-language, cross-platform application program interface API is used to produce 2D, 3D computer graphics. Third one, WebKit. This is an open source web browser engine. It provides that all the functionality to display web content and to simplify page loading. Fourth one, media framework. These libraries allows to play audio, video and record audio, video. Fifth one, secure sockets layer. These libraries are for network security. Third one, Android runtime. It is the subset or part of libraries layer and it is the third section of the architecture. It provides one of the key components which is called Dalvik virtual machine. It acts as a Java virtual machine which is specially designed for Android. It consumes less memory and provides fast performance. Fourth one, application framework. Application framework layer provides many high level services application in the form of the Java. It includes the services. First one, activity manager. Second one, content providers. Third one, resource manager. Fourth one, window manager. Fifth one, view system. Sixth one, location manager. Let's discuss one by one. First one, activity manager. It controls all aspects of the application lifecycle and the activity stack. Second one, content provider. It allows application to push and share the data with other application. Third one, resource manager. It provides access to non-code abundant resources such as strings, color setting, and user interface layout. Fourth one, location manager. It provides access to the location service, allowing an application to receive an update about location changes. Fifth one, application, last layer. It is found at the top of the layer. At the application layer, we can write our own application, install it, and use it. These applications are interact with the users. Example, games, messages, contacts, library. Let's take the comparison of Android and iOS. First one, Android. It was developed by Google and Open Handset Alliance, and it is owned by Google LLC. It was initially released on 23rd September 2008. Google released its first version of Android 1.0 Alpha. It was launched in 2008. Latest version is Android 12. Its target system are smartphones and tablets. It is designed for smartphones for all companies. Its kernel type is Linux based. It has a preferred license of Apache 2.0 and GNU GPLv2. It is written using C, C++, Java and other languages. Its update management is system software update. Java and Kotlin are majorly used for Android application development. Android is an open source based source model. Android device have Google Chrome, but one can install any internet browser. Google has Google Assistants, but Google doesn't block third-party app store. Android devices are available in 100 plus languages. In Android, we can change almost anything. File transfer in iOS is more difficult than in Android. Next, iOS. It was developed and it is owned by Apple Incorporation. It was initially released on July 29, 2007. When iOS was released, its first version is iPhone OS 1 before named iOS. It was launched in 2007. Latest version is iOS 15.3.1 and iPadOS 15.3.1. Its target system are smartphone, music players and tablet computers. It is specially designed for Apple iPhones and iPads. Its kernel type is hybrid. It has preferred licenses for proprietary APSL and GNU GPL. It's mainly written in C, C++, Objective-C, assembly language and Swift. Its update management is software update. Swift is majorly used for iOS application development. iOS has a commercial based source model with open source components, and it has Safari as the default internet browser. iOS has Siri as voice assistant, and it has a feature of blocking third-party app store, and an iOS device available in 40 languages. And in customizability is limited unless jailbroken, and a file transfer in Android is easier than in iOS. Thank you.